coach, Don Plitzowite, and also student athletes Hannah Shervin and Liv Korngable. We will take questions in person first and then by Zoom. Please raise your hand and we'll bring you the mic. And if you are in the Zoom waiting room, please use the raise hand function so that we may call on you. For all, please identify yourself by name and media affiliation. Let's start first with Coach Plitzowite with an opening statement.
Well, first of all, I thought it was just a great atmosphere for women's basketball. So to all the fans, our Coyote fans and the Baylor fans, I thought you made this a really special environment for the student athletes to play in. And so thank you for that. What a great opponent that we faced. And, it had certainly so many challenges. But I thought our young ladies played with an incredible amount of toughness. And Hannah started the game off with another 3. I think we all kind of smiled and relaxed a little bit because, that was not necessarily the game plan, but it certainly worked out pretty well for us. So I thought our kids played really hard. I thought they played fearless, and I thought they made a lot of good things happen. So, they've earned this, and now they have a chance to enjoy it.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. We'll take questions for the student athletes now. Again, raise your hand, and we'll bring you the mic. And Liv and Hannah, if you'll talk right into the mic. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, do we have questions? Right here in front.
Jay Elson with Midco Sports. Liv, you came here with the goal to get one win and see what happened after that. And now you're going to the Sweet 16. I imagine it's going to take some time for that to set in, but right now, the emotions that you're feeling.
Besides exhaustion, it's been a tough 3 days, but it's a joy. It was a great experience to play in this atmosphere, and yes, it's settling in that there's only 16 teams left playing in the tournament, so it's very cool.
Stephen Hawkins with the AP. Hannah, clearly you guys came back hoping for this opportunity to be right where you are, not just to get here, but to win like you are. Talk about the emotions and the feeling now, and just talk about that start you guys got off to, not only your 3, but the 11-0 start.
I think that's just an attestment to our preparation, whether that be for our starters or our bench players or, the people that run scout for us. Everyone came here with the mentality to prepare for each and every game, one game at a time, and I think we did a really good job of that.
Chad Conan, Waco Tribune Herald. Liv, you guys just always had an answer. You never let them make a run. Is that characteristic of you guys? Is that something you just were able to do today?
I think that's something that's taken us some time throughout the season to gain that chemistry and finding who has the hot hand or who has a mismatch. And I think that's something that as the season has gone on that we've been able to accomplish.
Michael McClear, Argus Leader. Hannah, Don sort of mentioned it, but, identical start as the other day. So, when you guys got off to that run, I guess what was going through your mind?
Just that this is fun, and the game of basketball is as simple as 5 players going at another set of 5 players, and not to overthink it too much, and it was a fun game.
Grant Sweeter, Kellerland Sports. For both of you, you guys have relied on your defense all season. It's been a strength of yours, but to come out tonight in the second round of the tournament and do what you did to one of the best offensive teams in the country, how did you guys do that? What was it that you guys put together?
Baylor didn't make it easy for us, They made us squeeze out everything that we had left, and they were a great offensive team. And I think just staying together and adapting throughout the tournament, I think has been crucial for us from our coaches, giving us cues to work off of. And then just kind of doing everything at a very high 100% level, not kind of doing anything half-heartedly. I think that's helped us defensively.
Do we have any other questions for the student athletes? Got 2 more follow-ups.
Liv, there were stretches late in the second half that, you guys couldn't really get a basket to fall. You've talked about that throughout the season, about how just sometimes the energy is spent on the defensive end. Was that the case tonight?
In that fourth quarter, it sure was. Maddie Kroll had a huge and one bucket for us around that midway point through the fourth quarter. But yeah, as long as we stuck to our defense, we took care of the ball. We put ourselves in a good position there, even though we weren't scoring.
Hannah, I think Melissa Smith had 10 points and just never really got on a roll like she got the other day. What was the key for you guys, slowing her down the way you did?
Just not letting her go one-on-one. When she goes one-on-one, she's probably going to score, and it's hard to defend her. But when we can help each other to guard her, it's a lot easier.
Liv, kind of building off of that, but in particular, to single one player out, Kaya's effort defensively, I thought was pretty incredible in this game, and she was on Smith a lot of the night. Can you just speak to what she brings to the floor when she's locked in like that?
Kaya, she's very special defensively, and I think it surprises people at times, what she's capable of, and she's really grown into her own expectations for herself and what she's capable of, and this past success she's had against great players. I think that those past successes really help her to gain confidence and instill in herself that she can guard anyone.
All right, if no more questions here, we'll go to Zoom. Lindsay?
Hey ladies, Lindsay Schnell from USA Today. Congratulations on the win. For both Liv and Hannah, I wondered, you're the second 10 seed to make it into the Sweet 16. And you both mentioned, this incredible atmosphere, but would we see even more upsets and even more mid-majors dancing deeper if we played everything on neutral courts instead of at home?
They had a lot of fans here tonight. Baylor's fans really showed out for them, but I think our fans, traveling from South Dakota to Texas or wherever they came from really showed up for us too. So to us, I don't know that it really felt like they had that many more fans than we did. They might have, but our fans were loud, and that helped us.
Yeah, I think as mid-majors, especially in South Dakota where there's no professional sports, we travel very well, and we're very grateful for that.
All right, let's go to Andrew Miner.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, there you go.
All right, this is for both Hannah and Liv. For Baylor, this was their first home non-conference loss since 2014 when #1 UConn came in and beat them. I was just curious, again, with that game plan that you prepared and then seeing it all the way through, what that means to both of you.
It's just a very special moment, to grow up watching Baylor play at a high level and have continued to do so, and then to find some confidence in yourself of our abilities and what we can accomplish. It's very cool.
I would agree. As a post player, Baylor's known for having really talented and athletic girls inside, and for us to get this win means a lot.
All right, let's go now to Alexa with ESPN.
Hi there, this is for both Liv and Hannah. Your coach said that you all played with a fearlessness tonight, and I thought that was pretty apparent from the jump. Where would you say that came from?
I would say a lot of that comes from our coaching staff, and I would say our teammates as well. But at the top of our tier, our coaching staff has instilled that fearlessness, and to want the ball and to not do anything half-heartedly. And I think that also comes from past players. Kira Duffy was someone who I looked to who was just so fearless and didn't care if she made a mistake and just ran back on defense, got a stop, and came back and threw up the next shot. So just kind of pulling from coaches and players and each other. That's a big part of our fearlessness and confidence.
All right, last question via Zoom from Zach James.
Hi, ladies. This is for either one of you. Do you consider this game an upset, this win an upset? Can you hear me?
Well, yeah, 10 and a 2 seed. I would consider it an upset. But I think, our non-conference schedule, we didn't see the success that we wanted, and those games really helped to prepare us for this moment and to realize, how hard and how tough you have to be to play against Power 5 teams.
All right. Hannah and Liv, y'all are dismissed. Well, hold on. I think we have, Lindsay, do you have one more follow-up? Let me just check with you real quickly.
Oh, I appreciate that. No, I just raised
Okay.
my hand really quick to ask Coach.
Gotcha.
So I can go
Okay.
first.
All right. We'll get you first.
All right, we're ready for
All
that
right.
one, Lindsay. Here we go.
Lindsay. All right. All right, Liv. And yeah. Oh,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, now we'll take questions for Coach Plitzwite. So if you'll raise your hand again and identify yourself by name and media affiliation.
Don Stephen Hawkins with the AP. Can you talk about your super seniors, the girls that came back? And I mean, this is obviously what they came back for.
Well, it's so special to have the young ladies that we do, and for them to come back, I think certainly speaks volumes of what they wanted to accomplish, and they obviously knew they needed all three of them together. It's kind of tough for us because Monica Arns and Claudia Kunzer were in this class too, but didn't have the opportunity to really come back with their nursing schedule in year 5. And so, for them to help us get to this point, it's certainly very special for those two as well. But I remember Liv talking to me at the beginning of the year and saying, you meet with your team and you talk about our individual players, what you want to see. And Liv said, I don't want to just play against good teams in our non-conference. We'd like to get some wins in our non-conference. And then when we didn't get many wins early on in our non-conference, I kept thinking, we just got to kind of hang tight. And I thought now, I've been thinking about it a lot the last couple of days with the draw that we have with 2 Power 5s and for Liv to now be able to see, okay, maybe it didn't come right away, but, now we have had a chance to do something really special.
JL's and Midco Sports. Dawn, Sweet 16, second Summit League team ever to do that. Has that part of it sunk in? Have you allowed yourself to think of just how special that part of it is?
Well, it's really tough, but it's really tough to get to this point. Obviously, it's tough to win games at any point in time, but certainly I think this group of young ladies, and this is where we struggled early in the season, our calling card has been our defense. And yes, we can score points at times. We didn't score very efficiently, but again, we used a lot of energy defensively. And so for them to really stay the course is really, really special. And it's a great opportunity. I laughed because when we were this is the second to last practice at the SCSE, our home arena, Hannah said, okay, this might be our last practice, or this is our last practice here. And I said, well, no, Hannah, we come back, and then we get to practice again. And she goes, oh, really? We thought we stayed on the road because that's what we did. The team stayed on the road last year. And she's like, well, Coach, we don't know. So we laughed after the game. And I said, Hannah, we get to go home and practice again. And she goes, see, I just didn't know. We didn't talk about any of those things. And so just kind of a fun moment for these young ladies. So their leadership and their toughness has been really special.
Obviously, Liv, Chloe, and Hannah have been premier Summit League players for a while, but does a run like this prove that these are 3 of the best players in the country?
Well, they're incredibly talented, skilled, athletic. They can defend multiple positions. There were some possessions in the game where we had to switch some things up, and kids were flying around, and Chloe's guarding inside, and Hannah's out on the perimeter, and I'm thinking they just kind of understand the big picture, and they're athletic enough and tough enough to just try to find a way to make it difficult. So I think they are elite players. They're really special young ladies.
What was the game plan against Melissa, and did it sort of work beyond your wildest imagination?
Well, our goal was obviously to make touches difficult for her, but you can't take them away from her because we can't front her and not give her opportunities because they can just throw it over the top of us. And they kind of did that in the fourth quarter. They pretty much said, we're going to put 3 bigs out here and we're going to just get the ball inside an offensive rebound. And then they're running ball screens big to big, and I'm thinking, oh, this is unbelievable. They're so special. And then they were locking us down at the same time. So not only do they have size out there, but we couldn't get by them at times. And so I just think our goal with Melissa was to make it difficult for her to get score opportunities, but that takes a lot of energy, and we couldn't do it by fronting her. So we had to find ways to help from different spots on the floor during the course of the game.
You obviously give a lot of credit to your players, but what does this moment mean for you and your career?
Well, I think it means a lot for our program. I think it means a lot for our university. I think it means a lot for our women's basketball program and all the student athletes, now they're old ladies or older ladies, that have built this. It started in the Division II era. And the great thing is our alumni have been really, really special in terms of supporting us into the Division I era. And so it's been a big moment for all of everyone that's involved in our program. It's been really special. Our daughter's playing in the Elite Eight, or she's redshirted. She doesn't get to play, but don't have a chance to see her play tomorrow, and I think she'll be okay with that. She'll understand that. So she's got to find a way anyway. So that it's been certainly a very special moment for everyone involved in our program.
Don, you guys became the record eighth double-digit seed to win on the first weekend of the women's NCAA tournament. What does it say to have so many double-digit seeds, so many so-called upsets in the first round of the women's tournament?
Well, I think certainly on this end of it, we are very experienced. There's no doubt about that. We have super seniors. We have, I don't know if they're called super freshmen or what they are, redshirt freshmen or COVID freshmen or what they are, but we have a very experienced group, and certainly that definitely helps at this point in time. We had a very special team back in 1920 that didn't have a chance to play in the NCAA tournament until I think and these young ladies were on that team at that point in time, and so for them to have the opportunity has been something that they wanted and they've relished, and they've certainly taken advantage of being in the moment for 2 games.
Don, could you address Kaya's performance defensively tonight and just what a high level player she is on that end of the floor?
Well, Kaya is someone who, obviously came out of Rapid City Stevens, and I didn't understand what one of our fans was chanting when she was at the free throw line at the end of the game, saying, "Let's go Raiders," and I kept looking back, and I'm thinking, we're not the Raiders. And I figured out that was her high school mascot, so I thought that was pretty funny. I'm like, okay, move on. We're in college now. But Kaya is someone who I think was someone we recruited with a lot of potential. And she has proven to have an awful lot of toughness at the same time. And so she has continued, I think in this tournament, I really believe that Maddie Krull and Kaya Watson heading into the tournament really got better and certainly were challenged because we needed them to get better. Grace Larkins, Allison Poplowski, Janaya, Macy. I mean, those young ladies got some really valuable minutes, and Kaya certainly has taken advantage of it. And they all have, but Kaya's taken advantage of it on both ends of the court.
I saw you give Jason a big hug at the end of the game. Obviously, this coaching staff has been building this for a while. I guess, what was that moment like and what was going through your mind?
Well, it's pretty special. Our coaches put certainly a lot of time and effort into finding a way. We don't play defense like we have in the last 2 games. Typically, we do different things, and so we had to find ways, and we had to come up with new words for new defensive looks because we didn't know what we were doing, and so we just tried to look at different ways. So I think our coaches have done just a tremendous job. Our coaches have been together for the most part for a while. Ariel joined us this year, and Ariel is someone I recruited, many years, well, not that many years ago, and she went to Notre Dame instead of the school that I was at the time. So it's fun to re-recruit her and actually have her say yes this time. So our staff really did a great job of finding ways to maximize what we could do.
All right, just one more follow-up, or Jay?
Yeah. Okay. Dawn, after not only playing in this matchup against that opponent, but being successful in it, how does that prepare you for what's next and any opponent that you might see?
Well, Jay may think it's kind of funny because the players said we're in the Wichita region, and I said I don't know I don't know what's going on at this point in time. I know we get to go home and then figure it out at that point, but I think it certainly should give us some confidence. Certainly, I think our players have done some really special things during this last weekend here. So, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked at anyone else in our bracket. I saw Ole Miss and thought, oh boy. And then we found out after our game that we were playing against, well, either Hawaii or Baylor, but I think we probably figured who we were playing at that point in time and told our players we don't know anything really about them. We've seen them play a little bit, but we haven't studied them. So it was a long night of kind of getting ready, and our kids certainly executed at a very high level.
All right, Coach, let's go to our Zoom.
Do we have
we've got
Lindsay's got a question.
Lindsay, You go now.
Thanks for looking out for me, Donna.
I got you.
appreciate it.
I got you back.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
I'm curious, you bring up the point that your kids have played together a long time. We've seen more and more mid-major upsets. And just in general, the women's game is so much better across the board than it was 5 to 10 years ago. Do you think we need to be playing at neutral sites? I mean, your fans traveled. Don't you think they would travel to a neutral site also?
Our fans would travel to a neutral site, absolutely. And to our fans and to our pep band Spirit Squad. I mean, one of our pep band members brought me bread pudding last night because she thought it would bring us good luck. So I had to eat it. It was pretty good, too. I don't know where it came from. But I think our fans are really special, and they would certainly travel to a neutral site for us.
Do you think we need to go to a neutral site? Is that good for women's basketball?
I think it'd be great. I really do. But at the same time, I think we have to be able to still draw fans. And certainly playing in this environment is really special for our young ladies. So, I think it would be advantageous and ideal to get to that point.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. Now let's get to Alexa with ESPN.
Hi there, Coach. I wanted to ask you the same question I posed to your players, just about, from your perspective, where that fearlessness that they showed today came from, and as a coach, how do you foster that throughout the year, since they credited you for helping build that?
Well, I think we really adhere to the belief that every moment matters, and everything adds up and becomes a cumulative effect of a lot of small moments. And, I really believe that our players do a great job of understanding that and carrying that out. And if we're in a walkthrough, Hannah's talking to Allison Poplowski when she's not in and telling her where she should go, or, Chloe's talking to Grace, or whatever the case is. So our players understand on the basketball court that every moment matters, but they also understand that their relationships really are important, and our chemistry is absolutely incredible. And so I think it's a combination of a lot of different things that add up together during the course of not only a season, but years. And some of these young ladies have been with us for 5 years. So at timeouts, I told our players at timeouts, you're probably not going to hear anything that I say, not necessarily because you can't hear, but your minds are going to be in a bunch of different places. So when we say something in the timeout, why don't you guys just go out on the court and then tell each other what we're supposed to be doing at that point in time? So they pretty much coach each other and do a tremendous job with that.
All right, Andrew Miner.
Hi, Andrew Miner, our Daily Bears. Coach, you mentioned that your calling card all year was your defense, and in the fourth quarter specifically, you guys didn't score until there was just under 3 minutes to play. I was just kind of curious what was going through your mind, during the entire fourth quarter, trying to make sure you guys pull off the upset, and what did you do on the court schematically to make sure that Melissa Smith, Queen Egbo couldn't use their size to their advantage?
Well, at that point in time, all I was really thinking is, boy, I hope possessions are really long for both of us, because then we have a chance to hold on to this lead. And, I think our players, we made some adjustments on what matchups were, and, kind of moved Hannah and Kaya back and forth to try to make life a little bit different, give her some different looks. And, I thought our players understood some ways that Baylor likes to score, kind of in quicker scenarios to attack. And the 3-post lineup isn't something that we've seen a lot out of them. And so when they came to that, we kind of had a flashback to when that happened to us at the Pentagon early in the season against South Carolina, and that didn't really work out very well for us. So, really tried to get our players to understand what changes we had to make, do some switching and help from different spots.
All right, last question, Zach James.
Hey, Don, kind of like what I asked after Friday's game. I know y'all didn't really win the rebounding battle, but how important was it to just make Baylor be a one-and-done possession type team tonight?
Well, I don't know how well we did with that, Zach. I don't know what the numbers are, but I thought our effort and our understanding was very, very solid. We gave up a lot of size. We're not the bigger team. We're not the more athletic team, so we just had to do things that were very basic and very simple and very fundamental to try to put ourselves in a position to box out and finish plays.
All right, that's it for
Sounds good.
you,
Thank you.
Coach. Thank you very much, and good luck in the Sweet 16. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. I'm taking this too.